Hello, welcome to How to Package, Price and Sell High Value Products. I'm Dallas McMillan. I'm a digital marketer and sales coach. I specialize in selling high ticket products, programs and services with online marketing, lead generation and sales funnels. Now I've put this training together for you if you are a coach, a consultant or a professional and you want to grow your business by making more high ticket sales. That means more sales, better clients and higher prices. That all sounds pretty good, right? In this talk, I'm going to show you how I use high ticket sales in my business and also for clients. And there's nothing for sale in this training. I'm just going to walk you through the basics that you need to master before you make the shift to high ticket sales. So this is ideal if you're just thinking about getting started or you want to refine your high ticket offerings. At the end, I'll let you know more about how you can work with us and other action steps you can take to get started. How does that sound? All right, so let's start. What are high ticket sales? So generally when we're talking high ticket, we mean products, programs, services or packages valued at $2,000, $5,000, $20,000, $50,000 or upward. So generally these are sold on the phone or face-to-face. And that's in contrast to most products sold online, which are lower value products that can be sold from a sales page or a webinar or some automated method. With high ticket sales, we tend to need to talk to the client one-on-one or to meet up with them in person. Now I'm going to show you how to market and sell these online. We'll still be closing them on the phone for the most part, but I'll show you the steps that we use in our business to move people to the point of buying. So we take them from being strangers to browsers to buyers. Now I'll often talk about high value products. That's a sort of category term for me, so it includes actual tangible products as well as packages of services or different offerings, sort of bundles of things, coaching programs and other programs, and productized services where you've standardized a service offering to a particular package. So all those I call high value products. And what I mean by high value is that it delivers massive value and ROI to your customers, and generally it does that by solving a big problem that they really want to solve. Okay, and why high ticket sales? Why are we interested in this? Well, the bottom line is there's only 3 ways to make more money in your business. The first is to get more clients, and that's what most marketing and sales is about. The second is to charge higher prices, and the third is to get repeat sales. Now, when I'm talking about high ticket sales, we're generally trying to address all 3. We want more clients, but we want them to be really high-end clients, which lets us raise our prices or go back to our existing clients and sell a high ticket offer on the back of what we've already sold them. So there's 3 things I'm going to cover in this training. The first secret is how to create high value packages that your clients love. So what is a high value product? What does it need to look like? How do you make your current offers more valuable? The second secret I'm going to share with you is how to price your packages, programs or products so that you'll get more sales and better clients. And there's ways to price things that better reflect the value you're delivering and make people more inclined to buy. And then thirdly, how to market and sell your high-end programs. So once you've packaged it up, you've got a price on it, how do you get it in front of clients and get them to say yes to working with you? So the goal of this training is to help you to get more sales, better clients and premium prices for what you do. And that's all part of helping you do your best work. And that means you need ideal clients. You need people who will really let you work at the highest level. And that lets you build a business that you love. So to me, higher prices isn't just a matter of putting a 0 on. It's a matter of really getting clear about the maximum value you can deliver, working out how to package that in a way that makes it very easy for people to buy, and that lets you sell it again and again so you get better and better at what you're really great at, and charge a premium for what you're doing along the way. So if that sounds good, stay tuned and we'll get stuck into it. And the ultimate goal, create a high value scalable business. So that's something where you're doing great work, you're charging a premium for what you do, you're seen as being excellent, your clients love the results, people refer you, you're proud of the results and the work that you do, and that's a business that you can actually grow, you can scale, but also it's valuable and you can sell it at the end, unlike so many professional practices where there really isn't anything to sell at the end. Okay, so let's start with how to package your high value product. And I've got pricing at the top there. But how to package your high value product. So one way I like to look at packaging services is looking at the types of results that you deliver. So a lot of people, when they're thinking of online products, they're thinking of information products. And that's sort of the first level of value. You can tell someone about something and inform them of your subject matter. And that's useful to a degree, but that's not really enough. And most information products are not high value. The second level of value I like to talk about is inspiration. And a lot of online training that you see, including this one, is very much about inspiration. So it's sort of light on the how to and heavy on the, hey, isn't this exciting? This could work for you. You need to be doing this. So it's getting people inspired, but it's not actually really giving much solid education or information or helping them actually do it. And I think you'll agree, if you've been on many webinars or seen many Facebook ads for this type of thing, then they're heavy on inspiration and light on everything else. The third level of results you can give is education. So you can give training that educates and really help people understand how something works. Now, you'd think this would be really valuable, but what I find is it's actually really hard to sell education. People want quick results and they want to be inspired. They don't really want to sit around and learn the theory. So when I started marketing online, I did a lot of education-based marketing, and I still do. But education alone is not enough, and you won't get rich just selling education generally. The fourth level of results is implementation, and that's where you actually do it for someone or you do it with them. You give them templates and help them step through all the different steps in the process to get the result, and then they actually get the result themselves or you do it for them. So that's implementation, and that's much more valuable than the previous steps. Most people just tell me, oh look, I don't want to have to learn how to do it, I just want you to do it for me, because they want to skip all the learning. They're already inspired, they just want it done for them. However, there's a fifth step, and this is what we're really aiming for when we're looking for high value products. So the fifth step is transformation, and that's where people go from one state where certain things are possible to a new state where other things are possible. So for example, if I'm building someone a website, then I can build the website for them, and now they've got the built website. But when they decided to get the website, they probably wanted a specific outcome that they thought the website would give them. Perhaps it was to become seen as an expert at what they do and to get lots of clients and become in demand. Like that would be a really typical example of why someone might think a website would be good. Now, if I just implement the website, they're probably not going to get most of those results. Whereas if I put together a package that actually delivers all those different components, then I'm able to transform them from someone who's sort of invisible and doesn't have a steady stream of leads and isn't seen as an expert, and transform them into someone who's highly visible, who has an oversupply of clients and stands out as an expert online. Now, that transformation is generally why we want to buy things. That's why you work with a coach or a consultant, or if you're buying a house and you need to deal with a lawyer or a real estate agent, the transformation you really want is to be moving into the new home. The implementation is the actual contracts and the sales and all those things, but really it's the result we want. So when you're selling high value, you want to be focused on transformation. So that's sort of the first secret to packaging up high value products. Now, let's have a look at how that plays out in practice. So you're probably familiar with online information products like ebooks, reports, perhaps short video series and things like that are just informing you about what something is. Now that's useful to a degree, and at the start of online marketing, say 20 years ago, that was enough. You could sell something for $20 and build up quite a good business that way, selling hundreds and thousands of information-only products. Over the last 10 or 15 years, though, we've moved much more toward where inspiration is essential. So you're selling emotionally, and you're getting people excited about actually doing the thing. And then, we'll sell something on the back end. But these days, inspiration is really where it's at in your marketing. The third level, education, is sort of a deeper level of the information. So here you're giving the background information they need to understand to actually go and do it themselves, but you're not doing it for them. You're just giving them all the knowledge they need to go and get a specific result, or implement some change in their life, but you're not actually walking through it with them. Now, this can be very useful for some people, but most people are prepared to pay a lot more for the next level of value, implementation. So this is where you do it for them. You build the website, you write up the contract, you prepare a document for them, whatever it is, you're actually doing it for them. Now, the difference between education and information is kind of subtle, but I think education is more the theory that experts know that actually let you get results, whereas information is the introductory stuff. Hey, there's this thing called high ticket sales. It can do this for you. You should get it. That's information. This sort of deeper stuff I'm sharing with you now is education. And if you join my programs, we do implementation and ultimately to deliver transformation. So remember, you're mostly trying to deliver transformation, and for that reason, most of my clients I get doing like a coaching program or a one-on-one service or an implementation plus coaching, so that we're ticking all those boxes, all those 5 boxes, with a focus on the people getting the result they really want. All right, and so some of the ways that might play out is coaching, consulting services, done for you services, done with you services. So that's where, for example, you might help someone build a website, but they still do parts of it, and group coaching programs where you've got a group of people going through things. Now, in all cases, to make these high value, you need to up the implementation and transformative aspects. And often that's about having a great experiential component, a wow factor, often group interaction, peer support, accountability. All those things are often necessary to move it from just being education and implementation into transformation. So that starts to show you how to package up your high value products, programs, and services. Now, obviously there is a ton more to it than this, but I think that's a great start. So once you've packaged up your high value product, how do you price it? So there's lots of ways you could price things, and some of the ones that are familiar to us are things like hourly pricing, a markup. So you might buy something for $10 and mark it up 50% and sell it for 15. Competitive pricing, where you're not really sure what it's worth to do what you do, so you just look at what everyone else charges and charge about the same. A market rate. So in some ways the market rate is very similar, but there's sort of a standard price. All people who do a certain job charge about $30 an hour, so you'll charge that. You're not directly competing with a specific person, but that's about what the going rate is. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is value pricing. And so value pricing is where we look at the value that the client gets from our product, program, or service, and we charge according to that. And that's my preferred way of pricing, although I also like packaging. So with value pricing, often it can be almost like a pay on performance, where you say, look, we're going to give you this result. For example, with marketing, you might say, we're going to give you enough marketing that you get $10,000 worth of sales, and we're going to charge you 20% of that. So we'll charge you $2,000. So that's sort of a pay on performance. And that's a type of value pricing in a way. But value pricing, as I will share, and which I teach my clients, is more complex because we are looking at a lot of different aspects of the value, not just the hard ROI, not just the superficial value, but a lot of other aspects which I'll go into now. So when we're value pricing, we want to focus on the results the client gets. And the reason we're so interested in transformation is that the results and the value of transformation are often much more than just the superficial and direct results of the product, program, or service. So we can look at the upside, how much money can they make? What can they now do? What are the things they have access to as a result of taking this action and working with us? That includes direct ROI. So for example, the extra sales that we get, but also indirect ROI. So things like peace of mind, added visibility, getting extra, work because you're so visible. You get invited to speaking opportunities, or something that's not a direct result, but is a very likely indirect result. And in indirect ROI, there's a lot of soft ROI, like that's emotional and about dealing with frustration or the pain of the current situation. So they need to be factored in as well. And often the emotional and the soft ROI can be more powerful in driving decision making than just the hard ROI on its own. One of the other aspects of value pricing that's really important to factor in is the cost of the status quo. So often people are losing money where they are. They're having to pay a more expensive method at the moment, and by investing they'll save money, or they'll avoid having to pay for manual labor, or they'll opportunity cost is another one which I haven't got here, which is really important in that if you can start making $100,000 a month with some new piece of equipment, then you sort of can't afford not to have that for very long. So that's an important one to factor in as well. Okay, let's move on now to selling your high value product. So there's three big aspects to this that I talk about. Sort of part of my framework for sales and marketing is that first of all, need to identify a high value client. So that's someone with a big problem that you can solve in a very specific way with your high value product. Then you need to make a high value offer to them. So you need to say, I'm going to give you a ton of value, and in exchange, you will give me some value. You'll pay me or invest in my service. And that's what you sell them on. You sell them on a value proposition of what they're going to get. You don't try to sell them the product necessarily, because they're really just interested in the result. So the offer is all about the result, which in our case is the transformation they'll receive from working with us. And then finally, you can talk about how you deliver that result. What is your high value product? How does it work? What are the features and benefits and the characteristics of the product? But most people who are trying to sell professional services focus on the product or service, not on the offer and not on the client. And really most of your attention needs to be on the buyer and their situation and why they want to invest, and then what your offer is and how it will help them and what they'll get out of it. And only thirdly, on your product or service and how it works. Okay. With that in mind, then we need to get in front of people. We need to have them know about our product. We need to have some emotional or professional connection with them. So they need to like us, like our product, like our brand. They need to just trust that we know what we're talking about. We need to be credible. We need to be honest. We need to be authentic. We need to make sense and present a logical and emotionally persuasive argument. We need to find a way to make it easy for them to try our product, program, or service. So that can be trying it on as an idea. For example, I'm sharing with you the whole concept of high ticket sales here. You're trying this idea on mentally, and if you like it, you might take action. But so it isn't always that they need to physically try the product or service. That it can be enough that they test it out. So things like case studies, product walkthroughs, free trials, small versions of a product or service. So for example, a mini version of your service are all great ways for people to try out your product, program, or service. And then finally, you can sell them the real thing. And generally, we're going to be doing that on a sales call or a one-to-one consultation. Okay, and so this stuff isn't new. In fact, one of the most famous marketing formulae, AIDA, was invented in 1921, and it goes awareness, interest, desire, action. And if you think about it, that really is the know, like, trust, and try and then buy. They're exactly the same steps. So this stuff is as old as the hills. Sales and marketing really hasn't changed an awful lot over the last few hundred years. Okay, and so in practice, what this looks like is we need to first promote our offer. We need to tell people about it and get it in front of potential buyers. And so then we need some way for them to express interest. And generally when we're marketing online, that's some sort of opt-in, like they're opting in on a landing page. Then we want to educate them. Like we want them to understand what we've got so that they can see if it's right for them, if it's going to give them the results that they need, if they're ready to buy. Then we need to evaluate them and they need to evaluate the product. So there's a testing period, and this relates to the try phase. At this stage, we're wanting to qualify and make sure that they're right to sell to before we try and sell. And they're trying to qualify us and make sure that we seem like a good provider. And then finally, we have purchase. So really, I've just shown you the same 4 or 5 step process a few times. Let's have a look at how this looks online. So first of all, we might run something like a Facebook ad to a landing page where they opt in on the landing page and then attend some sort of educational event such as a video like this one, or a webinar or a live event. Then we generally get them to apply or go through some process to qualify themselves, because when we're selling high value products, they're not for everyone. If you've got a truly transformative product, if the person isn't ready, the product will fail, and that's no good. So we need to make sure we're selling to the right people, and we use an application and enrollment process for that. And then finally, if they qualify on the application process, then we take them to a sales conversation or a strategy call or a clarity call, lots of different names for it. We'll take them through a defined process to work out if they're a good fit, and if there's a good match, then we can sign them up for the program. Okay, so could this work for you? Well, I've described a general process that I've used with dozens of clients, and I like to break it down to really simple steps for you. But with a little bit of modification, this can work for pretty much anyone who is a coach, a consultant, or professional. Basically, you're an expert, you're selling expert advice and help, and this process is really easy to apply to that situation. And that's what I focus on and what I've designed this process for. With some tweaks, you can use it for lots of other things. I've used it to market and sell, $10 million investments and $500,000 sort of productized consulting and equipment services. So it can be lots of different things, but what I'm describing works really well if you're selling a high value professional service. So they're buying your time or your services. However, you should already have a valuable product, program, or service. So if you currently don't have something, then I wouldn't suggest thinking, I'm going to go and build something for this, because it's actually much easier to apply this to an existing skill set, an existing product or service. You've also got to deliver massive ROI. So the way this process works, the education and the qualification all need to rest around you having something that can deliver a lot of value to clients. You need to present case studies or show them how it's going to help them in order to sell. So if you don't have something that's going to do that, selling is going to be a lot harder. So if that sounds like you, how can you take the next step? So the big thing is just to make the shift to high ticket sales. And the way I've made this transition myself is, I was doing lots of different services for different people, and probably my main product was web design, but it wasn't giving the transformation that I wanted. And I needed to start packaging in some marketing to make it work. So what I did was work out what needed to be in my offer, in my product. And then when I was approached by clients, I'd say, well, look, there's a few things I can do for you. What I prefer to do is give you the whole program. So I take people through this program and we do these steps to help them get this result. And then I tell them about the transformation they'll get. So just getting that mindset shift that you're going to make the shift to high ticket sales and high value products is a pretty key thing. There is a lot to this. It really took me years to work out, and I've helped lots of clients with it now. It's getting a lot more straightforward. But if you want some help, then you can have a chat to us and see whether we might be able to help you with it. So to do that, you can book a call with myself or one of my high ticket sales specialists, and we'll basically work out whether you're a good match for this type of approach. And if we think we can help you, we'll tell you some ways to work with you, that you can work with us. If not, we can point you to some of dozens of free resources I've got to help you move a bit further along that path or solve a specific problem. However, there's a few qualifying criteria. So you must be ready, willing, and able to invest in yourself. So if you don't have any funds, you don't have any time, or you don't have any energy, then there's no point talking to us. You must be an action taker too. There's a lot of implementation on your part, even though we do a lot of this for clients. So and we do have both group coaching programs where we sort of hold your hand and walk you through it, as well as done for you services. But regardless, you've got to be working on your side of things or it's not going to work. So we only work with action takers. You must be willing to do things differently and get new results. So, most of us have tried lots of things in terms of marketing or growing our business, and we often get quite attached to what we're doing. We're going to show you a proven system to move you from where you are now to a situation where you've got an oversupply of clients, you're charging premium prices, and you're able to scale your business very quickly if you want to. But that means you need to learn new things if you want to get new results. You've got to be willing to spend money to save time. So a lot of people look at something like this and think, oh, look, that looks pretty easy. Maybe you can tell me a bit about it and then I'll go away and do it myself. And I can tell you from first-hand experience that you absolutely can do that, but you should be prepared to spend many months or years in order to get the results. So by working with us, you'll save time. So you need to really want to work smarter, not harder. And that can literally save you months or years of working it out yourself. What we're going to do is build proven systems that actually help you automate some parts of this, and processes that you need to run in your business that will mean you can get these results. If you don't do that, then it's not going to work. So it's all really about trying to help you step out of your business a little bit rather than always working in your business and being a bit more of the architect of your own destiny. And yeah, we've got a proven system. You need to be willing to follow it. People often want to mix and match and try lots of different things. That's fine once you've mastered it. But to start with, you need to just follow a proven system, start getting a good result, and then you can get a bit fancy after that. Okay, so if you're ready to take action and ready for new results, then you can book a call now. So to do so, you can click the button below this video or go to highvaluesales.com/apply. You must be a coach, consultant, or service professional. You must already have an existing product or service, and you must want to enroll more clients at premium prices and be ready, willing, and able to invest in growing your business. If you are, click the button below or visit highvaluesales.com/apply. Really look forward to speaking with you. If it's not me, it will probably be one of my North American salespeople. So just depending on your time zone, you'll get one of my team, and we'll have a look at your business, where you are now, what you want to do in terms of high ticket sales, and how we can help you get there if that's a good fit. So thanks for your attention. I hope you found this very helpful, and I look forward to speaking to you on the phone. Thank you.